Where we explore practical answers to everyday problems. For over 3 decades, the Pollyanna Project, a registered charity in the United States and Jamaica, has been dedicated to humanitarian service. The organization typically visits Jamaica at least twice a year to provide support in a variety of ways. But this year has been different. When Hurricane Melissa struck the island on October 28th with devastating force, it was a call to action for Jamaicans everywhere around the world. And true to its mission, the Pollyanna Project was among the first to respond, mobilizing help through its wide-reaching network. Joining me to discuss their latest mission is Donna Moore Stewart, CEO of the Pollyanna Project. Donna, welcome. And I must tell you, viewers, that Donna is a resident and citizen daughter of Old Harbour. She grew up in Bodles Crescent, to be precise. So, Donna, welcome again. And it's a pleasure having you.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me, the Pollyanna Project exists for over 30 years now. I remember a few years ago I was at your 30th anniversary, fantastic event in New York. And you have done so many missions, but this mission, I believe, was different. How different was this mission?
Okay, this mission was different because of the human factor and the devastation, the widespread international hurt that was experienced, even though we weren't here, people weren't here. So it is different. It's it is different because the Pollyanna Project, I've never done a disaster relief. The Pollyanna Project primarily is a educational base sustenance organization where we focus on early education, high school, and tertiary educated students. So when Hurricane Melissa hit, it was a difference because how can we, the Pollyanna, make a difference? How can we? It is unfamiliar to us. What can we do? So that is how different it was. It was we were in unfamiliar territories. Once I thought about the impact of the hurricane and I thought about the long term effect it will have on the students, my heart just becomes so filled and what to do. But initially, we didn't know what to do.
Right, right.
Initially, we didn't know what to do.
I can imagine just, being that fly on the wall after the hurricane and what really now transpired in your operation room now. Because I know you have a great network, an extensive network, but just take me back to the first couple of weeks. Because I remember seeing you making a post on social media, and the response was just positive throughout.
Right.
But just take me through those first 2 weeks where operational wise, I mean, what really now happened?
So I will take you at first to the first 3 days
Yeah.
after the hurricane.
Right.
I do a radio station in New York,
Right.
and I told my audience, I am not doing anything.
Right.
The hurricane is not my thing. And not until the Lord says
Right.
to do something, that is how I am going to be moving forward with, getting the Pollyanna Project involved. On the first night, we went through all of those emotion, the devastation, all of that. We went through it. The second night, I still did not. Second day after I still not get a feeling of what I want to do,
Right.
or what I was going to take the organization into Jamaica to do. But on the third night, I remember it was a Thursday. In
Right.
and my husband and I heard the what I should do, and the voice was, give them a Christmas to remember. And I turned to my husband and I said, I got an answer for this hurricane. We have to give a community in Jamaica a Christmas to remember. These children will be going through the hardest time in their life. This is something that is going to take them forever. The sound, the howling of the winds, the noise, the crackling of the trees, those things stay with you.
Right.
Now, how can we, as a company, sort of soften that for the children? Because remember, my primary focus is really the children,
Right.
the children well-being, and so that's what came. And I said, okay. I said to my husband, we're going to do a Christmas to remember like they have never seen or experienced before. So that is when we know the direction in which we were going. Now, how is this going to look, or how is it going to happen?
Right.
We have a warehouse in New York, and I know the stock that was in the warehouse, right? And so I said, okay, we're going to be doing X, Y, and Z, getting all of the merchandise that we have and sending them out. And then I reached out to my closest supporters, the sponsors, and those who are donors.
Right.
And it was easy. I did not think it would have been so easy. So to have persons mobilized now, I'm like, we have to help. And then the calls start to come in. Donna, what are you doing? And I'm like, okay, okay.
Expectation.
Yes, they expect us. What is the Pollyanna Project doing? And so everything became easy after that.
Right.
So I had to drop everything that I was doing, and for 4 weeks, it took us 4 weeks, or it took us 4 weeks to get all of the shipment together and send them off to Jamaica.
Amazing. Amazing. So you had the option of choosing from many communities, because I mean, the western end of the island, there was like what, over 500,000 people would have been impacted
Mm-hmm.
across the entire Cornwall County. But you chose Parottee. How did you come to Parottee and
I
selecting them?
Well, like everything you would hear me refer to, I have no control.
Right.
I am talented, I'm passionate, I have the heart of giving,
Right.
but to see, I have that inability not to see. I don't know the western end of the country. I've never heard of Parottee.
Yeah.
When I heard of Parottee, the first thing come to my mind is a parrot. And I'm like,
Yeah.
this place exists?
Yes.
And then I started to see Parottee coming up in the news feed. Oh, they were like the initial impact of Hurricane Melissa. I didn't know I was going to Parottee. I was gathering items, all the items to make a Christmas to be remember, a Christmas to be remember.
Right.
I don't know where we were going. I know that the community would have presented itself.
Right.
So one day I was driving around, and I received a call from she's a supporter of the Pollyanna Project, and she said, Donna, what are you doing to the Jamaica? You can go to Parottee? And I'm like, huh? And without any, she was the first person.
Right.
So it was yes. So I must go to Parottee.
Right.
So that is how I did not select it. Parottee presents itself onto us. So we start to tell my directors and suggested to them what we're going to do and where we're going to go.
Right.
And that is how Parottee came up from a supporter who suggested that we go into them. She was like, those people are hit bad.
Yeah.
I went to that school. I want you to go and help because we have a reputation of making people feel valued, of making people feel hopeful, of making people feel worthy. And so this is what is needed for the victims of Hurricane Melissa, hope. And that is what we took to Parottee.
You went there prior to doing the distribution. I think you went there to just do a
Assessment.
assessment
Yes.
of the area.
Mhm.
So so much so now you would have now on the day of the real mission now it would have been your second trip down there.
Yes.
Seeing the devastation first and now. What
Wow.
was that like for you?
So myself, my husband, and the assistant treasurer of the Pollyanna Project, Vilena Query, we took the ride to St. Elizabeth on our own because we want to see for ourselves. And it was, I'm getting gooses because
Yeah.
I've never seen or experienced anything with my eyes,
Mhm.
to see cinder blocks, walls just turned over, and we've been seeing it on the news
Right.
and all over, but when you're actually on the ground, it's a difference. It is real. It becomes, yes, it is true. Yes, when you see a trailer that a 40-foot trailer that was one place and then you see it over there, how did it get there? Houses without roofs, bridges that is no longer there. It becomes real. And so we become more purposeful and intentional in delivering the Christmas to Remember in Parottee.
That Christmas that you delivered though, I wanted to just tell the listeners, I know it was a lot of food, a lot of clothes, um, so many items, but just also the response from the kids. The objective was party primary, but
Mhm.
it was party primary
And
and party
surrounding
community and
the
surrounding
surrounding
communities.
communities.
And
Yes.
so just describe that for our listeners, our viewers, who to paint that picture to them, to let them understand, the immediate impact by the time you got there.
Yes. So the Christmas to remember, um, I would say that we accomplished what we set out to do. To see when we first got there, we could see some persons looked anxious, some persons are desperate. I don't want to leave without not getting something. It's not a good feeling when you are in need
Right.
and you have no home and you have children and they're living in the elements. It's definitely not a good feeling. We figured that out before we got to Parottee. And so we make that preparation to come into Parottee, and we were intentional about everything. We saw the distribution of items before we got here from other organization. And while I'm saying this, I want to just big up Jamaica.
Right, right.
I really and truly want to big up those persons who went ahead of us. And that is what I was sharing with my community, that this disaster as a layer for every individual, right? So you have persons who have gone away and gone before us, give out items from the truck and give out items on the street and stuff. We did not want that. We want to add value, add some level of comfort to the community. And so what we did, we transformed the entire classrooms into a store. So we want them to come in and shop till they drop, even though they're not spending a dime,
Right.
right? We want to be able to feed them like never before. We want to give them groceries, not for 1 day or 2 day. We want to give them groceries for a week.
Right.
And that is exactly what we did. As you saw, persons, no one left there with less than 4 pieces of bags. No one left there. So we were intentional about everything that we did. We were intentional about taking the Christmas spirit. So as you see that we had a Christmas tree.
Right.
Now, how are we going to go to a Christmas, have a Christmas without light? The school did not have any form of electricity. So we took the generator in to add that light, and the children were so happy to see that. Not only the children, but the parents, and to see how grateful they are.
Also, the you have the JCF choir. Why that was important?
Well, I want to shout out to the JCF choir, um, Mr. Booth, for always hanging out with the Pollyanna Project. They believed in our curriculum, if you may, what we do.
Right.
And so they are the resident protector, the resident um, entertainers for wherever we go on the island.
Right.
And so it is always good to have the JCF because they keep order. We know that we weren't going to leave with the items. We cannot take them back with us. But the JCF, whenever they have been with us for about 4 years now, traveling with the Pollyanna Project.
Yes.
They have traveled to so many places, to Trelawney, in St. Catherine, and other places. And when we called them for Parottee, it was easy. We will be there, Auntie Donna. We
Yeah,
will
nice.
be there. So the JCF, pick up on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their presence was 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 reassuring as
Wow.
well,
Yeah.
because I mean, you were really anticipating about 200 people. Like I said, most of them would have been children, but then I'm sure we went over 200. We went over 400.
Yes.
The numbers doubled.
Mhm.
But the JCF choir provided some entertainment. I like also the fact that you took food that they can prepare for themselves, but you also cook. But this was now in partnership now with your assistant treasurer Velena, club, the
Elevation.
Elevation Cycling Club, which
Yes.
is also based here
Right.
in Old Harbour, and is
Right.
considered one of the, if not the number one cycling club in Jamaica right now.
Right.
And they were in the kitchen primarily cooking meals, preparing cooked meals, and everybody got cooked meals, children and adults.
So as I said, before we got to Jamaica, a lot of execution took place.
Mm.
A lot of planning went into what we were going to do, how we were going to present the Pollyanna Project on such a large scale.
Right.
And for us, this is not a large scale. We have had up to 2,000 persons in one setting, over 1,000 in one setting, right? So it was not, but the intimacy of what we did. And did by providing the food. We know if we're going to do a Christmas treat, we want to provide food. We want to provide the ice cream. We want to provide the bread and the groceries. But Elevation Cycling team, they are a group of chefs, if you may.
Right.
And they cook up some stuff around there, you know?
Yes.
And everyone, there wasn't we were intentional, and I am intentional, and I've taught my staff to be intentional as well.
Right.
And we walked around and looked, and when you go to certain events, they will toss away food. Food would be in a box. Andrew,
Yeah.
I was intentional. There was not any food tossed away, thrown away in Parottee.
Yeah. They got good food.
And they had good food,
Good,
you know what I
they got
mean?
good food.
Ice cream and all the goodies.
And a lot of the kids them with I saw where they got a lot of toys as well. You could see that smile on their face, because I mean, under normal circumstances they would have had a good Christmas, so to speak. But given what has happened, the anticipation of having a great Christmas is non-existent.
Right.
But there was another thing to that also stood out, and I must tell you viewers that I was also part of the mission team doing some media work down there too as well.
Yes.
So I also got the opportunity to see the whole work of the
Operation.
Pollyanna and their partners in full flight. It started raining at about 2-3 o'clock, and it never stopped until about 5 o'clock. Um, we got a first-hand experience of the current state of the building. It's a small school. The school, according to the principal, is they have 100 students enrolled. Um, about 70 students returned when they reopened last month, late last month as
Right.
well. But we experienced while the elevation team was cooking, and while you were doing the distribution in one of the classrooms,
The rain came.
it started raining, and there was
Puddles
volumes of water
coming through.
flowing through the kitchen.
Yeah.
The roof was leaking as well out by your side, and everybody have to adjust. And folks, that is the reality of the situation for Parottee Primary School, right?
Yes.
That is the reality. So we got that first-hand experience to see the kind of impact. Because immediately I said to, when I went around the kitchen while it was raining, and it was raining cats and dogs, I can tell you
Absolutely. Yeah.
that I said, then if if they were able to reopen school, I think she said around about the 25th of
The third week. Yeah, they had
of,
for 3
of,
weeks.
of
November.
November, right? Somewhere in November. And she said that they had classes and they had a good turnout, about 70 students, she said, turn up.
Yeah.
And I'm saying to myself, then if it rains like this while school is in session, just you can imagine
Yes.
the impact that is having on the children.
Yes,
I mean,
because it's like flashback.
yeah, it's
It's really a
remind them
flashback.
of the storm again.
Is this a storm?
Right.
You know,
And so that level of inconvenience as well, and like I said, the psychological impact.
Yes.
That is something that I looked and I was saying, wow. But then the kids and the parents were excited that they were able to restart school, and they just want to get back to life as normal as
Yes.
possible.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So in your estimation, now, given what you have now experienced, what more you think charities like yourself and others can do to have an even bigger impact on not just a Parottee but any other community that is so affected by what happened by this storm?
I've used the word intentional a lot because if you are going to help, be intentionally about your help.
Right.
Everyone can't take food. Everyone can't take tarpaulin. People have lost their homes. So charities will want to come on. You must be intentional about what you're going to do. That way we will sort of put this puzzle together to make one grand tapestry
Right.
of completeness for these folks that have been devastated by the hurricane. So I would encourage everyone, seek the need, be intentional. If it's going to be, we know that now that people are trying to rebuild, how are we going to help them? Because remember, one thing is not being spoken about is the loss of jobs, the loss of the inability to come back. Persons are retired. How are they going to start from scratch? So you got to be intentional about how we're moving forward in helping these folks. It's a long-term thing.
Yeah.
It takes about another 5 years or so before we can fully recover from hurricane.
And I was saying I was saying to somebody that it will take that amount of time and more, because if you really think about it realistically, the things that you have now, and I'm speaking about the material things, right? To call this house a home. It took you several years
to accumulate it.
Because when you hear stories of ordinary people, tell you that, okay, I started out with this one bedroom when I bought this land, and when we moved in, Immediately I remember a story from my one of my brothers when he and his wife moved into the house,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
All they were able to do was to put in the toilet and put 4 or 6 tiles
Mhm.
so that the toilet could be level,
Mhm.
and it was they have the bed and the dresser, a fridge and a stove, and they had to put linoleum
Mhm.
in the bedroom to
Mhm.
control the dust because there was no
Mhm.
tile.
Mhm.
But then as years goes by, it became a wonderful home.
Yes.
All the furnitures, the paintings, and all of those things went
Right.
in. To lose all of that within mere
Less
minutes,
than 24.
yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? And then to imagine now, how are you going to get that? Because that took you, in many cases, 2 decades for some people to have what they have
Exactly.
now.
Exactly.
And so, how do you now re- regain that
Yes.
and the mental stress that this is going to put on you? And as you rightly said, some persons are now retired. I met a retired principal the other day. She she retired last year. The storm came.
Took everything.
The husband, she said, was he is a farmer
Mhm.
and he would supply stuff to the hotels.
Yeah.
But then most of the hotels are closed now and will not reopen until a year's time,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? That is a lot of stress.
Right.
And then now that is something that, as you said, charities like yourself would have to now think about,
Absolutely.
right?
Are we going to now give person a start in life? We're going to give them a roof, but can we give them a start in life?
Mm,
If they used to pedal, can we say, all right, let's put up back your stall.
right,
Let me put back this money into your stall and put you back on your feet.
right,
There's also always two sides to a thing, because
right.
as much as we're doing this, we don't want people to be comfortable and stick there.
Mhm,
People who are helping have their lives as well,
right.
so they are going to get weary. At least some persons are going to get weary and tired as
Mm,
the years go,
because there's a lot of effort.
because it takes a lot of effort and work and
Mm-hmm,
resources,
mm-hmm,
and that is why it takes everyone to do it. And I don't I love the fact that the Pollyanna Project did not jump on board immediately.
right.
I love the fact that we knew we were going to be in Jamaica for the Christmas, and that is what we came for,
Right.
to give that Christmas to remember,
Mm,
right? Because hadn't we done that, Parottee would never have had that.
right.
So it is important that charities be intentional about how we're doing it.
Mm-hmm,
Not just the food, give person start.
right.
Are we going to get an organization who is going to get some stuff, some goods to peddle and
Mm-hmm,
sell, so that they can now start rebuilding? So these are the thoughts that I'm having.
yeah.
These are the thoughts that I'm thinking when I get back to have my meeting with my directors.
Mm-hmm,
How are we going to do it? We don't want to just constantly be helping, because we will become tired.
mm-hmm,
And we don't want independent persons to lose their independence because now everyone is coming in and giving them. We don't want this
mm-hmm,
to be a lifestyle.
yeah. Yeah.
We don't want
It can't be a handout.
it can't be a
It
handout.
can't be a handout
No,
approach.
because if we let this get away,
Yeah, yeah, it can become
it,
like that. It can become like that. It
exactly,
can become like that.
right? So everyone has to be intentional about how we are going to be adjusting it and getting persons back
Hmm.
their independence.
That is key because when you have that sense of independence, it's very empowering,
Absolutely.
right? It is very, very empowering, and you don't want persons to lose sight of that. And then you have those persons who they don't want any handout either,
That is true.
right? They prefer for you, as you rightly said, help me to restore my livelihood.
Yes.
And I am good because, and if you do that, then they will be in a position to help somebody else,
Exactly.
quite frankly, right?
Exactly.
So we it's similar to, I am a part of the Chamber of Commerce,
Hmm.
and we went to New Works in Westmoreland
Hmm.
twice,
Hmm.
and we have adopted that community.
Wonderful.
On our second mission, what we did was to focus primarily now on the farmers,
Nice.
right?
That's
And
intentional.
exactly.
That's
So each
intentional.
so there were over 100 farmers in the
Wow.
community.
Right.
But like 80% of those farmers are females,
Mm.
right? So we brought them seeds, a lot of seeds, vegetables, cabbage, callaloo, cucumber,
Mm-hmm.
pumpkin, you name it, those sort of seeds, and chemicals, um, sprays,
Pesticide. Yes.
pesticides as well,
Mm-hmm.
and fertilizers as well,
Nice.
because in another couple of months after the plant, then they'll be able to reap and start to and be in a position to help themselves and maybe help somebody else. So
Absolutely.
that approach, the sustainable approach, and being intentional in terms of how you help them, it is very, 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 very critical.
Mm.
And one thing I've picked up, going down to that side, is that the people are resilient and they pride themselves on being independent.
Yes.
So for a lot of the charitable organizations
Mhm.
who might think that, okay, we just need to take some stuff down there and give them, in after a while they might even get tired of that too.
Exactly.
They might very well just say, "Hey, I mean, no, we want to help ourselves, right?" I think I see we are the Minister of Agriculture, in which
Right.
he mentioned about the the, the the fishing community down that side is like totally wiped
Gone.
out,
Yes.
because like 90% of the fishermen them lost their boats,
Yes.
they lost their pots. Again, that's another
Intentional.
intentional approach
Yes.
that charities can think about as well.
But one thing I'm saying about that is this. While before I got here,
Mhm.
I was saying, how are we keeping a log, census, if
Yes,
you may, on persons and what is needed?
right.
I don't think that a good job is being done
Mhm.
where that is concerned,
Mhm.
because if we know the needs, if other charities know the need,
Mhm.
then we can focus on that and help the communities get back together. So if it's boats, then we find a maker of boats who
Right,
will donate
right,
canoes or whatever it is.
right. Or engines.
We have in the world, there are so many shipyards that have boats that have not been used. Can we get two trailer of boats and drop it there? We as a people, we must be intentional about how we are helping,
Yeah,
and not wanting to give persons a handout all the time,
yeah.
right?
It is so crucial, because they're talking about person's livelihoods,
Yes.
right? They want
Mm,
to get back on their feet, right?
absolutely.
And the sooner the better. But just to also just touch on a point that you raised as well, where the government has been collecting data, right?
Mhm.
But what I think they need to do, or go further, is to sort of create that um, online portal where charities and other organizations can go to that portal, click on the community, and see the needs,
That is true.
right?
That would help.
So again, I mean, like we said, the this podcast is about creating solutions,
Absolutely.
right? So that is something that needs to be done, rather than you being forced to call the ministry. And I know that can now bring you around the mulberry bush forever and ever, and you
Because the
just be
gatekeepers are there,
right,
and the
right,
gatekeeper don't want to let you in,
right, right.
right?
So that is a very, very important point to touch on, and that is what we are also putting forward now
Yeah.
to those in officialdom, to create that create that platform. We did it in COVID. COVID globally,
Yeah.
every single day there was an update
Yes.
as to the current statistics on COVID,
Right.
right? How
Right.
many deaths, how many people were
Yes.
infected, how
Yes.
many people recovered,
Yes.
I mean, that, in fact, you had a global COVID website in which you could click on it by country.
Yes.
And when you click on the country, you go by the various regions
Mhm.
within that country
Mhm.
to see the data. That is something
Of course.
needs to be done.
Of course.
So a Pollyanna or any other charity or any individual too as well
Yes.
could just go to that portal, click on it, look at the needs, and of course the numbers will be changing
Yes.
periodically.
Right.
But they could now go to that community and say, hey, this community, I see where there are 20 fishermen who
Mhm.
are in need of pots.
Yes. Exactly.
And let us know
Create the materials
material
so that
and
they can make their
pots.
pots.
Right, right,
Right? So this is what is needed moving forward for 2026 for the victims,
yeah,
not just continuing. I know it's immediately easy for persons to collect clothing and buy
right.
food and all of that, but we have to think beyond that. We
Mhm,
must get get out of the box some sort of a way
mhm,
so that we can get these people back
mhm.
to some level of normalcy.
True. So now that we just touched on that, I think this question is appropriate timing because that's one particular solution we have identified. I would love for you now to still put on for a few minutes the hat of government and say, okay, um, what different strategy, if any, if you were the government, if you were leading this recovery effort, you think you would have done differently at present now?
Okay. Well, what I would have done, it's to at least mobilize the churches because persons are mobilize the pastors so that the pastors can get account not just of their church members but of the community at large,
Right.
right? So get community leaders within the communities to do the work and then feed it back to the government,
Hmm.
right? That is needed because even it was recently this week I was hearing people said that they have not even gotten help. No one come to them. And how is that so when in Jamaica there's more churches than any place else in the
Yeah,
world?
yeah, yeah.
Why aren't the leaders of the churches not getting more involved in this effort? Why does it take overseas entity to come in and do these? I'm sure there are pastors or church leaders who are doing it,
Right.
but it needs to be more organized so that it's not a repetition of items being given out. So
Right.
that's one thing that I would have done.
Hmm.
And as you said, get that into the database,
Hmm.
right? So when an organization or thinking of helping, they go in and they see that
Right.
okay, Parity did not get anything, like Pollyanna gone to Parity. We that should have been recorded. Parity got X, Y, and Z for that time of the month.
Right.
So no one would go back the next day and do that. We
Right.
will time it intentionally, and then we will go, another organization will go in
Hmm.
and do something else.
Right.
But not to really stress any one particular organization. And as we're
Right.
talking about organization, there's some great people down here doing.
Yes, true.
There's some great.
The entertainers
I
and the
had
celebrities, them
I
doing some
had
work.
a feeling of pride, let me tell you,
Yeah.
because, all right, give you a true story. There was a man, was it a man that there, and he said, Miss, you know, I didn't know that people so kind.
Mm.
He was saying this to me. Me never know the people so kind, you know, everything gonna give you so.
Hmm.
And I'm like, yes.
Can't believe.
I can't, all of this, so me take, I say, yes, it's for you. There are more people for us than against us.
Right.
But in order for it to get to them, there must be some sort of order and an organizational, disparity that must take place.
Right. Right.
So that is where I would start in
Mm.
the local community and have them now report to another layer and so forth. So it gets done.
Hmm.
So that we know that okay, Parity is okay now, people. They got their fishing village back together. They have some boats, they have some peddlers who are selling. The bakery is up and running.
Hmm.
We can focus now on Little London
Right.
and in the on the larger scheme of the rebuilding process,
Right.
right? So yeah.
Yeah. Well, agree with you on that. So I remember putting this question to you about, wherever you go, you always create legacies, you always create partnerships. You mentioned that it's a bit early in a sense. You will go back to your directors. You will meet and discuss what you think, which direction you need to go. But as it relates to Parottee, and I know since the Pollyanna Project focuses so much on the youth and education,
Mhm.
what would be the legacy that you think you will be looking to establish? Um, you will be establishing at at Parottee Primary.
One thing I know is that we're not the only persons going into Parity Primary and helping. We recognize that
Right.
there are organizations. So once we get a feedback, then we will know what we'll do. Are we going to update their library with new
Right.
books? We're going to do that. That is something that the Pollyanna Project does.
Right.
We have built two libraries here in Jamaica, one in Portland, in forgot the name of the place in Portland, and one in Castleton, St. Mary. So if it is that we now will have to ensure that the students of Parity have access to the resources that they need to thrive. Because upon speaking with Miss Clark, I realized that there's some things lacking in the community, and no child should be left behind in 2025, 2026.
Yeah.
No child shouldn't have access to the arts. No child shouldn't have access to music, and it's not just preparing them, give
To
them the
pass it,
ABC
yeah,
and
to pass
whatnot.
exams. Right. Right.
There is so much more.
Mhm.
So once we go back and we assess, and we will definitely maintain a relationship with
Yeah.
with Parity Primary
In
School.
other words, you're seeing the needs.
I,
You're seeing
I,
some,
I see
you
I
see.
see a lot.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I see,
And
yes.
that is something that I'm sure that you're very good at. You know.
Yes, yes. I can pride myself on that. It only takes me a minute to go inside a space and observe and see the needs,
Mhm.
and then that's it. We are not going to give somebody something that they don't need.
Mhm.
It wouldn't be appreciated. So when we get back, we will figure and have meetings with the principal
Mhm.
and so forth.
Oh, wonderful.
Mhm.
So I must ask this though, that I know that prior to the hurricane, you normally do some give backs here in Old Harbour and elsewhere. Um, did you already select a community prior to the hurricane? I know Old Harbour is a given that you normally do something
Yeah.
done by your community or within the town of Old Harbour.
Well, the interesting thing, is that the Pollyanna Project,
Mhm.
we were deviating from what took place at Parity.
Right.
It's a lot of work, a lot of volunteers, people with jobs, and we did not want to put stress on them.
Right.
So we were trying to deviate from the cooking and the sorting of clothes. One thing about me was that I refused to take used clothes to Jamaica for a very long time because I know the pride of the Jamaican people,
Absolutely.
right? So I to send a used clothes down here
Nobody
would
know what nobody
I
want no
did
old broke.
nobody no
No
want
want
no
no
old
old broke.
broke. Nobody no want no and all of that.
Hand me down.
Hand me down.
Yes.
So I deviated from that because I don't want to be cursed out. I really so we were focusing now on giving scholarship. That is where we are.
Right.
We were focusing now on the schools and um on the schools and doing project within the schools.
Right.
And while I'm talking about school, I want to shout out Old Arbor High School. Mr. Ware at Old Arbor High School has given the Pollyanna Project. I'm a past student of Old Arbor High School.
Yes.
7-1. It was 7-1,
Mm.
and that is where we hosted or we stored the groceries.
Mm.
And we intentionally decided that we were going to purchase the groceries here. And if anyone is listening to me,
Yes.
you don't have to ship groceries to Jamaica. We came here and we purchased a couple $1 million of
Groceries.
groceries here for Parottee, right? And the whole Harbor High School, because we don't have a building here.
Right.
Mr. Ware gave us 7-1. I call it 7-1.
Mhm.
And while I was in 7-1, I had so much memory of me because I was in 7-2.
Ah.
And I've always wanted to be in 7-1. Right? True story.
Yes.
I didn't want to be in a no 7-2, right, girl.
Girl,
Mr.
yes.
Post in a 7-1
One, right.
and then put me in a 7-2 upstairs. And so we stored the goods, the
Mhm.
groceries in at a hold up. So thank you, Mr. Ware.
Nice, nice.
I also want to thank as well because gratitude is always makes you great.
Mhm.
And I want to shout out to Miss Trisha Reed of
Yeah.
Shades of
She's of elegance.
Elegance.
And she's also the president of the South St. Catherine Chamber of
Yes, so
Commerce.
I want to shout her out because when I called Trisha and I said, Trisha, I'm coming with a whole lot of stuff and I
Right.
don't know, my houses can't fit them,
Mhm.
right? And we know we need space to take care of this. And she said, I have a container in the back. You can use it. I have space. So big up Shades of Elegance
Nice, nice.
and Trisha for hosting it,
Right.
hosting the items for us. And they were instrumental
Mhm.
in getting us organized. Mr. Ware got us the truck driver. You know, they just provided the help
Mhm.
that we need to execute
Mhm.
the Christmas to Remember in Parottee.
And also you have a nice team of volunteers. I mean,
Listen.
some as far as from Portland too. I get you understand, or
Listen,
St. Andrew. No.
yes, you see, people is who gives you hope. And there
Absolutely.
was a time when the hope was dimming for me.
Yeah.
But this hurricane, it just makes me have this bubbly for Jamaica once again.
Nice.
Because it not only helped the victims, it also helped the volunteers. Some of the volunteers are past recipient of the Pollyanna Project. You
Right.
saw that nurse Cassandra James
Right.
was a team leader. So we organized team leaders for everything that you saw. Every area has a leader and they execute well. And I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm really and truly loving the volunteers and the passion that they have for the victims of Hurricane Melissa.
Do you intend to go to another community? Because I get to understand that your 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 work is not done yet. You still have, you still have a lot more to give.
Yes, we do. We do. We are sourcing a community as we speak. We have persons looking for a community that is in need, and I'm hoping that we get a community that have wholly more than 400 persons
Yes.
that we can really make feel good because this is who we are. We
Yes.
make people feel good, right? So we're going to be working on that. We still have a shipment to be cleared at the wharf, which means that our time here in Jamaica is indefinite. I- we cannot leave. Our sponsors and donors wants to see that the items that they donate goes to the victim of Hurricane Melissa. For the Pollyanna Project, Andrew, it's integrity.
Yes. Key.
What we do when you be in front of you and behind your back,
Yes.
that is what propelled us for the last 32 years. Integrity. And that is why people loves us because they know that I could have said, I want to go back to my yard.
Yes.
My flight was yesterday. My flight was supposed to be on the 27th. And we're stuck here because we have to ensure that the shipment goes to the victims of Hurricane Melissa and no one or nowhere else.
So what I'm hearing as however long it takes to clear that,
I'm
you'll be
here. I'll be here.
Wow. Wow.
And my team knows that. My team knows that, so everything is on pause back in the States for me.
Right.
I can work remotely because, of course, I'm a real estate agent as
Right.
well, and I can work remotely.
Nice.
So I can still do transaction, but for now, we're staying put. Once we receive that shipment, once we receive the area that is going to be what we expected, because it's a duplication of what we do.
Right.
Whatever, but this time I don't think we're going to be doing the cooking because
Right.
it's a lot of work.
Yes.
But we will duplicate everything else that took place at Parottee.
Well, I don't think you will be short and in suitors because there's just, I mean, there's so many communities out there that
Yes.
they need. But there's a particular point that I want to also make,
Yes.
in that there are a lot of communities that are cut off. They are very remote right now. Um, the roads make it impossible for vehicles to get to where they are. So I remember speaking to another friend, and she was saying that they went down to I think it was in Westmoreland or St. Louis that I think they went to, but they had to stop and walk like half a mile to get to that community because the road, there was a major breakaway in the road, so no vehicles can get there. And you find them. He said that their group was the first group after more than 4 weeks
Yeah.
since the hurricane had passed. Their group was the first group to come to them.
Wow.
So there are communities at the present moment who perhaps would have received some aid once.
Wow.
And
Right.
there's I won't say there are communities that would have, that has never received anything. But given the remote nature of where some of those communities
Yeah.
exist, and remember now we are no longer seeing the helicopters from the United States and elsewhere. They're on a different
Gone.
mission now.
Yes.
So the real work now rests on us Jamaicans,
Yes.
both here and those in the
Yes.
diaspora like yourself,
Yes.
and the government,
Yes.
to really now get aid to those persons. So the, it is still dire for a lot of communities.
I recognize
right?
that.
I have had conversations going down there where, when we got to a community, the lady came up to us and she said, "I do you have any sanitary napkins? I just want some sanitary napkins for my daughter." Yeah, there were females who from the time the hurricane passed
Haven't showered.
haven't showered, and it is the only underwear they have.
Yes. Yeah, it's surprisingly, because one lady come to me and she said, right, were you there, Carl, when she said, I want underwears.
Yeah.
Can you guys get us underwears
Yeah.
for male and female underwear?
Yeah.
I really and truly didn't think of that.
Yep. Yep.
When this happened. So for an NGO or thinking to help,
Right.
get underwears.
Yeah, as simple as
It's
that.
simple as that.
Simple as that. Underwear.
Get underwear.
Yeah.
Bras, male and female underwears, undershirts, socks.
Yep.
Those things are needed.
Needed. And those things can't be too much.
And they cannot be too much.
Those things can't be
Because
too
remember, there is no running water. Remember, they don't have electricity to. So that is needed.
It's a huge
Lanterns, because we gave out lanterns and we were intentional about giving out the children the solar lamp.
Yes.
I
That's our plenty to do.
we give almost all of the students a solar lamp, because when that came to mind, I remember when I was in Freetown, Sierra Leone, that is the first place I saw them. And I saw persons putting a lot of stuff out in the sun, and I'm like, what was that? Because in the remote villages there's no electricity. So they have that to move around. And I know that when it becomes dark, that children becomes afraid.
Absolutely.
And I was intentional in getting a solar flashlight
Right.
into the hands of all of those students. And they didn't want anything else. They wanted the light. They wanted that. So
Very important.
very important.
And especially those students who are also preparing for PEP.
Exactly.
They will not need to burn the midnight oil, as we used to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, at least now you are providing a very key resource for them.
Absolutely. So this is what is needed. As much as we need the food, we need the clothes, but they need
Yeah.
solar, I don't want to say generator because generators are expensive,
Right.
right? So get them a lot of solar lamps.
Yeah.
Don't make nothing with batteries. Batteries run out, and then you're gonna spend the money to buy batteries.
Right.
Solar is the way
So
to
so
go
yeah.
for these persons.
Very that is very very important.
Mhm.
What I want to touch on also is that um I know every year you spend Christmas here for the last. I don't know when was the last time you don't have Christmas here.
Well, actually, no, it's my sister that spent Christmas here.
Oh,
This is the first time I'm here for a very long
yeah,
time for Christmas.
spending Christmas here.
I wanted this time to be uh 2025 was a very challenging year for my family.
Right.
So I wanted to come to Jamaica and just relax. I come to realize that there's no such thing for me. I will never get a chance to relax. You know why? Because what I do
Mhm.
is fun.
Yeah. I can see that.
What
I
I
can see
do,
that. You really enjoy what you're
I
doing.
I love
Yeah,
it.
so I
I
mean,
love helping.
some some persons might hear you speaking and think that that's a lot of work, but I can tell you, you really enjoy it. And I think they always say, if you enjoy what you do, then you never
Never
work
work a
a day in
day
your
in a
life,
life.
right?
Yes,
And you seem to just move effortlessly
effortlessly around
through.
it.
Yeah, I observe that a lot with you. But how else would you want to spend your Christmas?
Quiet. honestly, honestly,
Yeah,
yes, quiet.
quiet.
But I am getting that chance.
Mhm.
And funny enough, because of the break from the 23rd, and now tomorrow is when we're gonna start over again. We have to call the WAPs. We have to call and see if our shipment is ready.
Right,
And not until we know that that shipment is ready, then the work begins. I have to get mobilize the volunteers again
right.
so that we can do this work. And it is not easy work.
That's true.
It is hard work. And for them and for myself and the directors, because the donors are expecting to see the gifts goes to the victim. And that is why I'm intentional about every detail of what I do. Because the donors need to see that. I want to say thank you to the Largemont Police as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
The Largemont Police Department and the school district wrote love notes to the people of Parottee,
Whoa, nice.
sending them words of encouragement. And the people was grabbing onto that. It was telling them that they're not alone, and the gifts that they sent, it's sent from their heart, and to have hope, and they are going to be with them. So this is what people need. People need to feel you.
Yeah.
They
They need to
need
be
to
loved.
they
They
need
need,
to be
yeah.
loved. And the gratitude that I received was just overwhelming, really.
The human connection, what I find doing now, the human connection is priceless.
Come on now.
Like I tell people, don't worry about this whole AI evolution that is taking place.
Ah,
It will never replace the human
human
touch.
connect. Absolutely.
It can't replace it,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Machines can only do what it is told to do,
Yes.
and but the ability to feel and sense and discern, um, that is that is something that is so priceless
And
and
this is
so
what
and what makes us human.
Hurricane Melissa did that. So
Yeah,
we can curse her as much as we want,
she makes us human again.
but she makes us human again.
That's true.
And it makes us fall in love with strangers. It
Yes.
makes us want to be with strangers. It makes us want to suffer with strangers. So I love the fact that Melissa came and bring back
Yeah,
the human.
connection. Because I have gone to some communities and just how people, strangers, how they embrace you. I mean, they need that.
Yes.
They need that.
And they want us back.
Yes.
They keep saying, come back. I
Mhm.
want you to come back. Not in the hurricane, as if they're saying, we want to treat you for we want to take care of you for taking care of us during this time.
Yeah.
That is the sense I felt for them. One lady, she was saying, we must respect you for all of you people to come from so far to come here. We are grateful. So I want everyone to know that all of us have a part to play.
Absolutely.
Every single one of us have a part to play. But when we're playing that part, let's play it fairly, kindly, and with plenty class.
Yeah, yeah. Very important. I must say this, put this to you too. I know for every mission, there are some lessons learned. There are some takeaways. What for this mission at Parottee, what are some of the key takeaways for you? What did you learn from this experience?
That I must really and truly, to be honest and authentic, just to fall in love with Jamaica again, or the Jamaican people again. That is what I took away, because every every mission is a lesson.
Yes.
And I fell in love with the Jamaican people who are helping and those who are being helped.
Yeah.
And it gives me that hope as well. We have been doing this for 30 something years. We were doing this when it wasn't fashionable.
Yeah. Nobody even knew about Pollyanna.
Nobody knew that we were a pebble in an ocean,
Yeah.
just making ripples, and nobody knew.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have maintained our integrity for the last 30 something years, I am feeling good, and it motivates me, to want to do more.
Yeah.
For my country and the people of Jamaica.
You have gone to the Caribbean. You have gone to Africa. We know Jamaica is first priority,
yes.
and your pride of place. What's for next year? Is it that your mission will be solely focused on Jamaica, given what especially the western side of Jamaica is experiencing?
Well, the thing about it is that, Andrew, we don't just do one area.
Right.
We have done, like, right now, during the Christmas time, we were in Freetown, Kakandima, the village in Freetown, Sierra Leone,
Right.
even though we were not there.
Okay.
So we had an event from the 19th of December, yes, from the 19th of December to the 27th of December. We provided the same thing. As a matter of fact, true story. The contribution and donation that we receive in the Pollyanna Project tell us what we should do. Earlier this year, we received a lot of Christmas items. And I'm like, what are we doing with Christmas items? We do school. We can't do this. So we planned to go to Freetown, Sierra Leone, to the village and light the village.
Okay.
With solar lights, with all of that, light the village with the Christmas tree. That Christmas tree that you saw,
Right.
it was intended for Sierra Leone.
Oh.
Honestly.
Mm.
So all of what you saw that took place,
Right.
it was for Africa. And I spoke to them, and they understand. They said, if Jamaica need your mommy, you go to Jamaica. And they understand. And I know that the way will open up for them. So I have never, the Pollyanna Project has never left out Jamaica. It's home, and we will continue to do. So even if we have plans to go to Ghana next year and Freetown, Sierra Leone, Jamaica is always going. We are never leaving Jamaica. Never. We can't do that, because that the Jamaican people them will cuss me out real and good and proper.
Yes.
You understand? Now you do something in Africa. Every minute you go down Africa.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
why you can't do something for Jamaica? But when we do things in Jamaica, it's magnanimous, right? We have donated $1 million in scholarship.
Right.
We have given out millions of dollars in computers. Every year we have duplicated and multiplied what we do in Jamaica, right? So we will always have a project going on in Jamaica.
And just to say to the viewers that if you want to follow Pollyanna's work, you can just go into Google. You'll see a lot of stories on Old Urban News. I can tell you that.
Yes.
You'll see a lot of stories. I think also on the GIS as well.
Yes.
And you can also go directly to their website as well, and you will see on their social media platform. Just
Yes.
type in Pollyanna,
Yes.
whether on Instagram,
You'll
Facebook,
see us.
right? You will see the work that they have been doing, and they have been
Yes.
doing some really, really, really good work.
Mm-hmm.
This year, though,
Mm-hmm.
before hurricane, you were here in Jamaica,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you gave you gave a scholarship to the same nurse student,
Yes.
Cassandra James,
Mhm.
a student from
Mhm.
Olaba High School,
Mhm.
doing tremendous work. She's now also a volunteer. You would have also done similar things to other individuals who have now become part of the Pollyanna Project as well. I
Exactly.
remember this young miss, she's a doctor, I can't remember her name.
Marsha Smith.
Marsha Smith,
Yes.
right?
Dr. Smith.
Fantastic,
Yes.
fantastic story.
Yes.
And you would have helped her
Mhm.
and many others like her. I saw where earlier this year we did a story on that as well, in which they what's the name of the family? They were selling the Guinness.
Guinness. Yes.
I can't remember.
The Lovelace.
Lovelace.
The yes.
Lovelace is their
Yes.
last name.
Yes. Yes.
Right. I see where I think it was the dad and the son
The sons were back
were there
volunteer. Yes.
volunteering. Um, and I would like for you to just share that story with the listeners. How you met them. I mean, a lot of persons would say, it is God's work. But
It,
I mean, you at no point in time you were planning that this would happen. But
um,
just for the purpose of those watching,
right.
just tell them how that story happened.
Okay. So I happened to be at a particular spot in Old Harbor. And my no, we went to get food, right? My husband went inside and I stayed back in the car.
Right.
And Jamaica service is a bit on the go slow.
No
So
problem.
no problem here so at all. So because it's no problem, I sat in the car, and while
Yeah.
I sat in the car, I am intentional about my surrounding at all time. My
Right.
position in any room is it has to be a particular way. And so I get the rear view mirror and I was looking at whoever is coming up
Right.
behind me. But while I was doing that, I saw a well-dressed man selling Guinness.
Right.
Just nice. And I'm like, oh, the rest of them look nice. I sell Guinness. You know, him not look tattered or dirty or
Yeah.
anything. And then while he was selling the Guinness, I saw a young man that is well dressed as well selling.
You know.
I'm like, this must be a family, you know.
Right.
I didn't pay it any mind. And I sat there observing. Then I saw a female that came. She was well dressed too, and she was selling the Guinness as well.
Mm.
I said, but wait, it's a family affair selling Guinness. No man, I love them.
Mhm.
What you must know as well, listeners, is that my mother, Miss Polly, was a Rastafarian.
Right.
Yeah, love Rastafari, right? Now when you go locks up the hair and all of them things, right? And so when I saw the family, my mom's spirit just rised up in me. She rose up in me. And I said, you know what? Me I go check them out.
Right.
So me I go check them out. Me I go feel them out. So me walk across the street. And I said, beg you want Guinness, no? And he said, nothing wrong with that greatness. And him give me the
Yeah,
Guinness.
yeah.
Yeah, him give me the Guinness. And I say, yeah, man, me up on the right track. Feelings are going, yes, so. But by this time, we drive around while we're in Jamaica all the time. We have supplies in our car.
Right.
So if we see somebody that needs it, we are always there to help them.
Right.
And I start to talk to them, and lo and behold, I said, so this is what you guys do? They said yes. A neighbor tell them they can pick the Guinea from her tree, and they can come out here and sell, and they're farmers. That's what they do. So upon questioning them, I realized that they were trying to get the supplies to go back to school. So I said, you buy the book bag them already? I said, how many children you have? 5? Um, by this, I have exactly 5 book bags in my car
Oh.
with supplies and everything. So I said, really? Oh, okay. I said to the wife, come, follow me across the street. That was so. But she wasn't sure. She kept looking around.
Yeah. Wonder why this woman a come tell her to follow.
She said, I'm gonna bless you guys today. Because she looked like my mom. She has,
Oh.
and I kept seeing my mom in that stage with us as young kids.
Okay.
And she followed me. And when I said, I am gonna bless you with the book bags for your school, she started to cry. Then she started looking more like, are you for real? Is that real? You know? And I gave her the book bags and I asked the age of the children. 2 of them were students of Old Harbor High. And if they can't find the book bag, That mean they don't have learning devices either. I always have little stuff in one corner someplace. Yes, that's me. And I said, but then what was important about this meeting or this
Right.
encounter is, she said to me, I only need 4 bags. One of my child don't go to school. She's 2 years old.
Okay.
Another person would have taken the 5.
Yeah.
Now that motivate me that this is an honest person.
Integrity speaking.
Integrity speaking. And I gave her the 4 bags. And I said, I have 2 computers for your son. She started to holler. You know, like, who you?
Yeah.
Who? And that is how I met this family. And let me tell you something, Andrew. They have been a blessing. The most humble family I've ever met, and the kindest I've ever come across in a very, 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 very long time.
Yeah.
I have not gone in their presence. I remember when we were doing the handover in Old Arbor High School, the smallest son went and picked flowers and take it to me. The smallest son.
And he did that off his own.
Off his own. And he took the flowers and he gave it to me. I still have them in my Bible. I took them back to New York and I put them in special places in my Bible. And that let me know the kind, not because a person's in need, they're poor, you know, doesn't mean that they don't have class, they don't have wishes, they don't have dreams for their children. Now, who are we not to help when we see this? They're independent because they could have stayed home and not sell no Guinea, right? They could have stayed home, but they didn't. So the opportunity presented itself, and I'm forever grateful to have them, Yannick and Kirk and their children in our lives. And we did promise them that that's a family that the Pollyanna Project will forever be looking after. I want to see those boys. I want to grow with that family.
Yeah.
Honestly, I want to see them to going to college, going to university, going wherever. I don't want them to be stuck in that because you have family that are stuck right there. We don't have it.
Right.
This is it. I remember growing up poor.
Yes, I remember you when I met you the first time and you mentioned about, I mean, you used to sell in Old Harbor Market.
No, I didn't go to Old Harbor. I kind of did
Coronation.
both. See,
Oh, Coronation.
Maypen Market and
Coronation
Coronation Market.
to sell-
Yeah.
to sell
I
the
didn't want my friends them to me. I sell
sell.
in a Old Harbor Market. Them would laugh me to
The brown in a cell.
me say, show up, girl, I sell in a market. No, me go far. Go sell, right? So,
But there were some real lessons in that experience.
of course. Of course.
And I think those lessons would have
It prepared
helped
me.
you, right, prepared
It
you and also
prepared
keep
me.
you grounded.
It kept me grounded. And I first thing I said to that family was, I'm not sorry for you. Because you know what? Wanna uno, I gonna be greatest in this family. I know it, I feel it, but now you guys need a little help. And this is where the Pollyanna Project comes in. So it's good to feel, and I'm committed to all of the causes that we take on to the end.
Yeah, it's that Jamaican spirit, but even more so that just that human spirit, that
Yeah.
godliness, you know,
Yeah.
that sometimes we think is so absent from our society in this day and age because I think we have become so selfish. But like you said, Melissa, there's some out of bad comes good.
Come on now.
Because what Melissa has caused or triggered or stirred within each of us is to remind us that we are all one and we need to be our brother's keeper, and we see a lot of that happening now.
And let's normalize that.
Indeed, it needs
Let's
to be
let's
normalized.
normalize that.
Yes,
Right? You. When Melissa was happening, and I looked at all the big house them on the hill, and I said, "We make them people and I go get a family from country and put them in at the bottom part of them house."
yeah,
You understand? Why don't we normalize helping? Right? You have empty houses in Mandivilles. Why don't we get them?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Find some way of helping a family.
you can
Yeah.
adopt a family,
Yes.
right?
Adopt a family.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can adopt a family.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be so important.
Yes.
That's so important because you will know the world is a cycle. And we are all connected.
Yes.
And the good that you do today, you might not see the reward of that immediately.
Yeah.
Even though we live in a world of instant, everybody want instant gratification,
Exactly.
instant
Yeah.
reward. But you will be surprised how much that good good seed that you sow now, how that um will will come back few years later
Well,
to
well,
benefit
sometimes
you.
in these times it's microwaved. Take the family for instance.
Mhm.
Once we got here, this trip, they have left us whatever we need in terms of help, whether it be sorting the groceries. They were there.
Yeah.
They showed up. They worked, and they're not asking for anything. The good that we have done for them, they come back and they're repaying the Pollyanna Project, helping others.
Yeah. Critical. Very, very critical.
Yes.
In Westmoreland too again, I remember many of the residents who were impacted. So there was this, I think he was a policeman. He his house was one of two or three houses in the community that was able to withstand
Right.
the impact of the storm. And during the height of the storm,
Yes.
he told us that they there was about 25 people he took in. And even after the storm, um, there were about 15 people who remain. He said people were even standing up sleeping, but he took them in
Yeah.
during the storm.
My God.
Um,
God bless
there
them.
was no second thought. He said
Mm-hmm.
when he heard the noise during the storm, he said, "Boy, I can't accept so many of you."
Yeah.
He just said, "Come."
Yeah.
Right? Somewhere in the kitchen, somewhere in another room, and
People
everybody.
became people
Yeah,
again.
yeah, and I mean sometimes people might see that as inconvenient,
Mm-hmm.
but believe you me, when you in a time of crisis, these things sort of just galvanize us, right? Yes, some people broke down because I mean of the stress, but you we see so many of our own people just rising up because we were helping each other.
As someone that are an organization that have been doing this,
Mhm.
when we started out back in 1994, back to school was not popular.
True.
Was not popular.
True.
Christmas treat was not popular in 1994. Over the 30 years, it seems like this is the norm. Charity. You hear this word charity. And I don't want to focus on the negatives, like the ones that are doing it for themselves, but I want to focus on those that are genuinely
Yeah.
helping those who need help, genuinely who want to impact this world in a way that children now will become them
Yes.
and help others.
Yeah.
That is what is supposed to happen in a Genesis, right?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
mentioned it this morning.
Yeah.
We're supposed to go on and be
Serve
fruitful and
humanity.
multiply
Yes.
and serve each other.
Serve human.
That is it.
Yeah.
And the joy, I hope everybody experience the joy.
Yeah. It is a I think like I said this morning, there's no greater feeling for me.
N-
And you can see it in other human beings even when they do so unconsciously,
Yes,
right? So
yes.
they don't even know that this is a fundamental universal law.
Come on.
Right?
Period.
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 Right?
You want that joy? Go help somebody
Somebody.
in need.
And
Give up.
yes.
I said to my volunteers, I said, I know you're going to look at these items and I'm sure you're going to want something, but I'm challenging each and every one of you. Don't take anything.
Yes.
Give it to those people in Parottee
Who are in need.
who are in need.
And they're in the
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
The volunteers are like, I want to go back on another one.
Yes.
With the next one we coming.
Yeah.
We are coming on the next one.
Yeah.
It is, as you said, it's the fundamental of human being. The greatest joy is when we help those
Yeah.
who is not going to do anything for us.
Yeah. And I took my son with me
Yeah.
deliberately on that mission
Mm-hmm.
because I told him and my daughter over and over that you guys don't know how privileged you are, You don't know how privileged you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he was able now to experience another
Wow.
side of Jamaica given the damage of the hurricane. He was back in school after maybe a week after the hurricane had passed. He was back in school. Everything was quite normal.
Right.
But now he's able now to go to a school. When he looked at the primary school, he was like, "This is a school. It's so small," because he used to
This is
attend
what we're talking
Marylebone
about,
Primary.
the box.
He attends St. Catherine High School. Those are two of the largest institutions at the primary level and at the high school level in the entire country, right? So when you look at Parottee and a student with a student population of 100 students,
Nobody know there.
yeah, right.
What they pick them there,
Yeah, and then it started to rain, and he now saw the kitchen
Yes.
had water flowing through the kitchen, and you guys round there, but we didn't let that stop us. Cooking was still going on.
That
You were
part.
still distributing.
None of the
kids,
volunteers
and the kids,
run
the
from
kids
the rain.
right, and the kids and the parents, they remain the same. Everybody
You
stand
have
up.
to be there to experience it. You have to
The
be
rain
there.
wasn't a bother.
It was not, and normally Jamaican people afraid of rain, but the people
Bad.
had no move.
And it was really raining,
And then it stopped. But I must say this too, Andrew,
Yeah.
and you have possibly have experienced it with us.
Right.
For every Pollyanna event that we have had, just as we're about to give gifts, it starts raining.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking only in Jamaica.
Yeah.
My husband traveled with me to other countries.
Yeah.
It happened.
Mm.
It happened.
A blessing.
It is such a blessing. So I am actually looking for the rain. Mr. When the rain will come,
Yeah.
we want the rain. The rain solidified who we are.
Yes.
Because we're not going to run. We're going to get wet up in it. The officers get wet. And the officers were there. The JCF was there. And they didn't care.
Yeah.
They, wow.
The kids were just, everybody just adjust to the leaking, and
Exactly.
nobody was complaining that, you stand up in front of me. And all of that.
Exactly.
It was like
Amazing.
a normal day.
Yes, it was amazing. Man.
Normal day.
Really and truly.
We're going to wrap up, but I want to give you the opportunity to, one, big up your sponsors as well.
Thank
Your
you.
partners who have been supporting you.
Sure.
And also how persons can become a partner, a donor, a supporter of the Pollyanna. How they can also donate, Go ahead. I'll give you the
so
time to
first
do
of
that.
all, thank you, Andrew, for being a force behind the Pollyanna Project. The Old Urban News has been there. You're on our website. You're on our banners. We appreciate you because we want to be great, and that's why we have gratitude, right? And so I want to thank the Brooklyn Nets and Dan West for believing in us. Somebody said, then how come the Brooklyn Nets sponsor? Oh no, that's a big organization.
Yeah,
How did you like how everyone was wearing a Brooklyn Nets t-shirt?
Yes.
That was intentional, right?
Yes.
Everyone come in, wore one, and then they get more on top of more, right? So I want to thank the Brooklyn Nets. I want to thank Structure Craft Construction for donating. CAB consulting agent Craig Baker out of Texas. Huge. I want to thank Jane Barr. I want to thank Caribbean Girls Mission of Hope, another organization that we partner with. My Facebook persons who support, my Care Coalition of Eastchester, who held an event to collect items just for Melissa. And they did. So the Care Coalition of Eastchester and Diana Daniels out there, I want to thank each and every one of you. And if I fail to mention anyone, because it's a lot of you, DGC Construction, thank you. You and us, plumbing, air conditioning system with Julian Burrell. Thank you for believing what we do. And there's so much more. But if you want to contribute and be a part of this awesome organization, we live a life of integrity in front of you and behind the scenes. We have a local bank here in Jamaica, and it's a Sagicure bank, and it is at Tropical Plaza. And I'm going to give you the account number. Feel free to just go and load it up. Everybody, right. I want the Jamaican people to make me kind of happy,
yes.
right?
And I'll put the link in the description.
Yes. So the account number, if you're watching, is 550-528 6498. Once again, it's a Sagicor Bank of Tropical Plaza. The account number is 550-528-6498. All this information can be found on our website at www.pollyannaproject.org. And go there, give us some love, continue to support us. This Melissa, the hurricane relief is a continued relief that we need the continued support both internationally and locally to believe in what the Pollyanna does.
Donna, I want to thank you. Fantastic conversation. And I must tell you, viewers, that the story about Donna, that is a separate, complete different podcast, I can tell you. And just to even speak of the work, she hasn't scratched the surface, I can tell you, in terms of the work that she has been doing over the years with the various partners and her family and friends. They have been doing some fantastic work. And I encourage you to give them all the support that you can because you will see the benefit. They are very, very transparent. That is something that I love about them too as well. Extremely transparent. People of the highest integrity. And I just want to, big you up and also your team and sponsors for the work that you have been doing. And certainly, I know you'll be back because we need to speak about Donna, the lady behind the Pollyanna Project, driving this wonderful organization. Donna, thank you very much for participating, and we look forward to seeing you again and continue doing the good work.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for having the Pollyanna Project. We are looking forward to return.
All right, then. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.